month. Some of you haven't had quite that long at home. But if you've got kids at home, you might be, well, you probably are already thinking, okay, what are we doing now? We've done all the fun things and we still need to do school. And even if you have young kids, like preschoolers, you still want to have them doing some kind of activities. One of the things that you can do that is fun and is educational and is a skill that everyone needs to know, and that is cooking. And you might be thinking, well, how do I get my kids in the kitchen, and what exactly can they do? I teach kids cooking classes, and I teach as young as 3 years old, and they can do a lot of things. So I'm just going to go over a few things. One of the important things is that you have the equipment that they're able to use, and that includes colorful measuring cups. If you want a pre-reader to learn which size is the one that they want, is they can tell you the colors, so they learn the colors for the different sizes, and also measuring spoons. There are a wide variety out there. I don't even know what brand these are, but you can look it up online and you can find a lot of things. Color, lots of color makes it look pretty and fun. Excuse me. So this is a scraper. It also, you can use it for stirring. And I even have these flat, flexible cutting boards that they come in like packets of 4. So if you have more than one child, you're not spending a lot of money on expensive cutting boards for each child, and they can use these. Everyone has their own cutting board. And you may be thinking, well, they can't use knives if they're really young, but I want to tell you that they can. I have 3-year-olds that can use just a plain table knife. It does have a serrated edge. You can find some table knives that don't have the serrated edge if you want to get those instead. You just have to tell them how to use it. You have to hold it with the blade down, and even they can cut soft things with this. Sometimes they have to use it like a saw. Other times it goes down very easily, like with the strawberry. And you also have to explain how to cut the strawberry, because many times you tell them to cut the green part off and they cut this halfway, and then they want to throw this part away. So you show them how to cut it and then cut. And this is sawing. So this is another technique that they're learning, is sawing. And you teach them to keep their fingers back by making a claw and holding the strawberry, or they can make a bridge like this and put the knife in between and cut. If you have older kids, you can use a paring knife. This is a Xylus knife. It comes with a nice little cover. And I got this in a set of 3. They're all 3 different knives. They're not all the same. This one is probably the best one. If you have an older child, that you can teach them how to use a knife, and they'll be able to cut things like carrots. Younger kids can cut carrots, but I usually have to cut them in half lengthwise or even quarter them so that they're able to. Let's see who. Carol. Hi, Carol. You want to learn kids cooking? But with a knife like this, they are able to cut the carrot. So another thing that they can use is a vegetable peeler. And the vegetable peeler, many people want to peel it this way, kids included, and that is not the best way, because this can cause accidents. So I teach them to peel away and to just keep turning and keep peeling until all the peels are off. The younger kids don't turn the carrot, so it ends up being just like this flat carrot. And I let them eat the peels because that's also a fun part. So that's another thing. And then after you've peeled it all this way, you can turn it around and peel the rest of it. So I'm not big on gadgets. However, with kids, sometimes you need to have gadgets. And one of those, and one of their favorites, is the food chopper. We use this to chop onions most frequently because it's onion. I want to put onions in what we make, and it's kind of a challenge for a child to cut an onion because it gets on their fingers, they touch their face, and it burns. So this is what I use for chopping onions. So you have to cut the onion. I didn't get one ready, but you have to get an onion and put it underneath, and then you have to hit it. And that's something that the kids love, is that it's not pushing it. You have to really hit it hard and make a lot of noise, which they love, making a lot of noise. So this one is made by OXO, I believe, yes. And I do not prefer this one. It works well, but the one that I prefer is, this is a Pampered Chef one. And, you know, I'm just giving you my opinions. I'm not saying, I don't get any money from any of this. But this one is my favorite. This one's a little bit old, but it works a lot easier. It's much easier for them to press. This one is harder. Takes a lot more work, so maybe with older kids. And but you have to make sure that you are holding this when they hit it, or have an older child hold it when they're hitting it, because if not, it's going to wobble too much and you'll have accidents. So another gadget that I like to use, and the kids love it, is this salad shooter. It's made by Presto. I don't even know if you can find it anywhere but online anymore, but I love it. And the kids really enjoy it. Like if we want to shred carrots, you can't shred on one of those box graters because they're going to hurt their fingers. So we cut the carrots into pieces, and I let them put them inside here. And then I'm standing with them, so you will either have to stand with them or have an older child stand with them and put it over. I usually have a lower bowl so that we don't have to hold this up. But you push down on this and turn it on. And I'm not going to turn it on. It's very loud. And just tell them to keep their hands here and here. So I let them turn it on and push here. And then when it's done and it's grated all in here, shredded all in here, it's a lot of fun. And then usually it's something that they want to eat, like carrots. I give them a little handful of the carrot to eat. So it's like a reward. So who else do I have? Oh, Laura. Hi, Laura. How are you? Good to see you. So those are really the only two gadgets that I like to use with the kids. I had something else here. Measuring. You want to let them measure. So if you're pouring a liquid into a measuring cup, if they're older and they have more coordination, you can just let them do that on their own. If they're younger, I usually try to help them to do that, or help them, or they can find where we're going to measure to, and then they tell me when I've poured to that line. And I like, this is a big bowl. For a small bowl, like this, if we're making like a little sauce or something, and have a small bowl, a little whisk like this. This is a fun whisk that they can use for them to mix with this. You don't have this big whisk and a whisk. You teach them how to whisk so that they can stir it and not fling all of the ingredients out. The other thing is, if you've got like greens or lettuce, these need to be washed. This is a perfect job for a child. You don't have to have a salad spinner. I do have a salad spinner. But you have your child, I should have had that undone already. You have your child take the leaves, and you don't want the stem on the kale, and you have them pull the leaves off and put it in the salad spinner. And they can wash this. If you don't have a salad spinner, you can just wash it directly in the sink, and it works. But then you do need to dry it. I would dry it on towels, or maybe just shake it really hard. But dry it. The drier it is, the better it stores. So that's a job that your child can do. Then when you're ready to cook, or maybe if you're going to have salad, and if this was lettuce, you could have kale in your salad, but if this was lettuce, you just have your child tear the pieces. And another thing, when I'm making something, cooking a recipe for class, and it has kale or any other green in it, I just give the kids the leaves and tell them to tear it into small, or sometimes it's kind of silly, and I just always say it's great. Whatever they do, I just tell them that it's good. You don't want to criticize them. You want to have them have a good experience. So I think that's it for today. And I am going, there's someone else. Rose. Hi, Rose. Good to see you. I'm going to be doing some fun kid-friendly recipes. Or maybe it's not necessarily a kid-friendly recipe, but a recipe that kids can help with. And this is how you get kids to like vegetables, is you have them help to prepare the meal. Sure, they like pizza, and sure they like nachos and things like that. If you don't introduce them to the vegetables, then they're probably not going to learn to like them. So these are easy for kids to help with, and many kids like these recipes. So I'm going to be doing some of those over the next couple of weeks, and see how it goes from there. So thanks for joining. And Rose said hi. Yes, hi, Rose. Thanks for joining. And if you have any questions, please ask them down below. Send me a message, or if you have anything that you would like to see me make into a kidable? No. Into a recipe that a child could help with. I will see what I can do with that. Anyway, until next time, I will see you later. Have a great rest of your weekend, and happy Easter if that's what you celebrate. Happy Passover if that's what you celebrate, or happy spring if that's what you celebrate. Anyway, until next time, bye-bye.